What's up, brothers and sisters, my friends, my people? Dude, let's dig in to what's happening in the stock market today and our watch list as the market is still red hot. Look, it's not hot in the indexes. You're trading indexes, you're trading futures, you're in some combine, that kind of thing. You ain't making no monies, probably. It's just a chop fest, right? But if you kind of X out the indexes, you're seeing just huge heat all over the place. And so I think that anything currently that's just a market-specific play, like something that'll just follow the market that has no PR, no catalyst, no sector momentum, you just leave alone. And there's all this good stuff that's happening anyways, and so just keep ignoring the indexes a little bit. There's more than enough stuff to play. You know, I didn't even look at the QQQ today because it's been a dog. Like, you know, it pops up and then just rolls right over. So it's been a dog. So I'm not even sitting there focusing on it right now. Trying to find the ones that will move irregardless to what's happening in the general market, which is currently there's a lot of stocks. I mean, dude, we were ripping this Oclo on the ORB today. I think I sold out of mine like in the 23s. The last of it, I mean, that's good God-fearing Christian range right there, right? And so we want to be in these things. We want to look for things that have sector, momentum, some type of news flow, and then that kind of monster MPC volume that really will get things going. So I think right now there's not too much to read in the indexes. We have the Fed, we have some CPI, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, we have the election, a little bit more, blah, blah, blah. I don't think it really matters who wins or even if what happens with, some of this other stuff. The market's kind of grinding along, doing its thing as it always has. And I think that's the main thing. So just focus on the price action. Whatever happens, happens. And, you just kind of read and react to it because there's a lot of damn good stuff, right, in terms of heat. And no matter what happens in the next couple of weeks with inflation, Fed, election, the volatility is going to be fantastic, and that's the main thing, right? We're traders, so the rest of it doesn't matter. Up, down, all around, right? Who gives a shit? We just got to go and do what we do. So let's dig into the watch list. First of all, crypto is gearing for a breakout. Now, I've thought this, I'm a little bit of a fanboy on these things. Every time it's tested out this way, I've been saying we're gearing up for a breakout. But this time is a little bit different is a little bit tighter than the other ones. And then, of course, we got the election coming up and stuff like that. And so there is a little bit more maybe juice going in. And the action in the stocks has been fantastic. As you guys know, I'm the mstr king, MicroStrategy king. This has been my main money maker for weeks. It's got the best range in the stock market currently, and I think you can keep playing this on all dips. But it's getting so long in the tooth and the earnings are out, it's time to shift our love into maybe some of the other crypto names, as this one, mstr and Coin, both got earnings out, and so they're going to probably be a little bit herky-jerky for the next couple days, but let's dig in. There's some other ones that I think are really hanging. Obviously, the Wolf Nation, we've been putting this on the blog for weeks, still trending. I think this one's still, it's got more room, but I'm more interested in something that's coiled up, right? So we have Mara here, right under the 200-day moving average, was up 11% today. I mean, that's where I want to be, right? That's where I want to be on this thing. I want to be in Mara, right? I want to be in Mara. I want to be in, BTDR. Look at this BTDR. This is fantastic, right? So if you look at BTDR, just starting to come out of range. So MSTR has been going up for weeks. Now this one is just starting to come out of range. 5 million shares in volume, got some room to go before its old high, which was at 13. That's what I'm a little bit more interested in. You can see iron right here. Awesome range break. Just started to move, right? Today's day one. It was up 17%. It went right out of the gate. These, if they have weak opens tomorrow, right? If they have weak opens tomorrow, we have to red to green these, and all of them. All of them. If hot, we had this on the blog yesterday for the 16 break. Worked picture perfect. Now we've had a huge 15% update. Any kind of weakness on this tomorrow, we want to try to red to green them. PRCT, this was a earnings play today that just broke out to all-time highs. It was fantastic, but it just didn't have any range because it gapped up too much, and that'll happen sometimes. What we need to do is, watch this thing for a day 2 play tomorrow. It's going to be in play for a little bit of time. Like, it's not something that'll probably just go away on a one-time thing. So I like the overall look of it. We've got ourselves a little hootenanny in the market. Like, there are good opportunities, nonstop. The nuclear trade doesn't look like it's done. Now, look, if they gap up tomorrow, I'll leave them alone. But any kind of weak open or flat open, we want to keep hammering this. Like, look at the liquidity on this thing. It's just got sick range. Any kind of weakness on this thing, I'm into it. DJT, I'm stalking this one. I'm not touching it right now, but if we get a gap up on this thing, say we come in and, if we start in the next handful of days, get into kind of this zone here, I think that ends up being a sell the news event. If the Trumpster wins, it's probably going to gap up huge, and then it fades off that day. If he loses, it'll fade off, pretty much immediately with no gap. It'll gap down and then fade off. But either way, it's setting up for a fade off. I mean, it had 109 million shares in volume. At some point, we have to recognize that this was $12, right? Just a couple weeks ago. It has nothing to do with, right, who's winning or not, but this is just how these rubber band plays work. When the news comes out that people are expecting, then you get the fade off, right? That's your classic sell the news event. It's steaming up. Let it steam up some more, right? Like, let it steam up more. Let it stretch this thing out in the next few days and really push. And then we got something there. So add all of those. CLSK, this one's got it's another crypto name, right? You got probably a $13 a confirmed breakup. I think it's breaking out right now. Looks fantastic. MGM, dude, this is a little bit more of a swing trade. You got 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests. But, man, you kind of 3 tests over this 200-day moving average. It's got good liquidity on it for the most part. It's up about 3%. More of a little bit of a swing trade. I don't know if it's got the huge ATR and liquidity you want to, like, really day trade any size on it. But that's just a great look. UPST still testing this 54. Man, there's some sellers into this, and so you want to be careful. See these wicks here? So just keep an eye on it. It's trading so herky-jerky. You'll lose your shirt if you chase it. That's what happened to me a handful of days ago. I think maybe it was this candle here. Right, rookie move. It just got rugged so fast. I'm like fucking unloading thousands of shares of this thing in, like, dozens and dozens of contracts all at once. Like, the fucking spread on it cost me $1,000. So let's just be a little bit mindful. You've got yourself a spot here, but it is going to kind of have to soak up some of that supply, and then I think we'll be good to go. CRDO, I mean, this is just a classic high tight flag. You have yourself kind of multiple tests at this 40, 50 to 41 zone. Man, if it can clear that, I think we got a good spot. And then we got JP Morgan. This is just a little bit of a flag pattern and a flat top kind of combination of this, and I really like the location of it. It's got a good spot here. It's not a huge ATR stock. It's like Microsoft basically. I'd probably look at the 227.50 calls, Friday expiration, and swing trade these into the week, for the rest of the week, or maybe even the week after, and see kind of what goes down on it. But it's got a really good look to it. I don't like trading bank stocks, but it's there. Spotify. You got this big breakout right here, 388. If it clears that, I think, you're if you look left, man, you're starting to break out of a really big spot here. There's not many looks where you have like these kind of all-time high breakouts. Palantir's another one, but they both got their earnings coming up. And so, you don't want to step in front of it. Wait post earnings and see if it breaks through. And then we'll kind of have a good idea on it. General Motors, I'm watching any tap back on this one into kind of this zone here. If we can get it between the 9 EMA and this old breakout spot, I'll look to potentially add for a swing trade. I won't day trade this one. Too thick. And then you got yourself, right? Old silver here is also, right? a multi-year, possibly decade-long breakout, just starting to peek through. Your first pullback after the breakout, it looks great. I would not be surprised to see this thing rip if we're just kind of comparing ratios of how much gold has moved to how much this has got to move. Then we got ourselves a good spot there. And then old Tesla, everybody's been asked about this one. It got rejected at highs today, to be expected. It was just so extended. If it drops down another day, even better. And then a week open on the third day would kind of give us 3 down days. That's the ideal setup. So that, when you have something extended but it's really hot, you want to see a couple days of weakness and then a week open on the third day, and you'll get yourself a majority of the time, if the support is good, a majority of the time you'll get yourself a big bounce. So keep an eye on that one. It's got a little bit more work to do, but it's great. And then, of course, our daily traders, MicroStrategy is a daily trader at this point. There's a handful of these names. NVIDIA was a daily trader, but now it trades like shit, right? So, you swap out this one for mstr. Oklo is a daily trader at this point. So keep an eye on your daily traders. And, dude, watch all these cryptos. I mean, when stocks like BTR are getting picked up, then they're just throwing. So I get a blockchain list. I'll put it in the comment section. And, dude, I mean, it's like 24%, 70%, so on and so forth. I love that. When you have that kind of heat, you can play hot potato with these things and just start throwing darts and take yourself to the bank. So I love you guys. Smash that like button. Leave me a comment. Peace in the Middle East, my friend.